The Hoosier football team was dealt a tall task of beating the Penn State Nittany Lions this weekend when they traveled up to Beaver Stadium. Coming up, you'll see if Indiana turned University Park all red.
IU men's basketball team and head coach Tom Crean had their debut at the start of the regular season over the weekend against Northwestern State, and days later, another home game against IUPUI. How did the new team match up against the Jaguars and the Demons? Stay tuned.
The men's soccer team came into the Big Ten tournament hungry to avenge some disappointing in-conference losses. Stay tuned to find out how far their run lasted next on Hoosier Sports Night.
Welcome into this edition of Hoosier Sports Night. Basketball season's beginning in Bloomington. Football season, the Hoosiers are at Happy Valley. Tell us about that, Casey.
Well, huge underdogs, but as they say, that's why they play the game. Now assured there will be no bowl game, the Hoosiers looked for a spark that would help them win a second conference game. Well, that spark would be hard to find as the Hoosiers were set to go up against one of the best teams in the country in Penn State. As if the team didn't have enough against them, Indiana was winless in all 11 previous meetings with the Nittany Lions. Kellen Lewis back at quarterback for the Hoosiers, but early on it was the defense making big plays as Jamie Curlew stuffs Evan Royster on this 3rd and 1. Now late in the first quarter, Lewis drops back to pass, rolls to his right, throws a pass, but is intercepted by Penn State's Mark Rubin at the 9. That's Lewis's 6th interception of the year. Now Daryl Clark trying to take it in for Penn State, but Jamie Curlew strips him. This guy has been an animal all season. The Hoosiers recover it. They would go into the second quarter tied at 0. However, Penn State would start to pull away as Daryl Clark drops back to pass and goes deep to Derek Williams downfield. He makes the catch for a 39-yard touchdown pass. Penn State's up 7-0, and it looks like the route is on. However, the Hoosiers would respond. Marcus Thigpen takes the handoff. He can't find anything in the middle, but he bounces it out to the outside, and there's no arguing that he is one of the fastest running backs in the country. A 57-yard touchdown run, his 7th of the season after having 0 last year. The Hoosiers are actually in this game, folks. Now, Chris Hagerup, right before the half, gets his punt blocked by Penn State's Nathan Stuper. Penn State would down it at the 20. Kevin Kelly kicks a 32-yard field goal right before half, 10-7 Penn State. Now on their first possession, Evan Royster takes the handoff, and this was a great run. He bounces off 3 Hoosier defenders and fights his way into the end zone for a 19-yard touchdown run. Penn State now up 17-7. Now Chris Hagerup, this worked against Northwestern. It didn't work against Wisconsin, and it's not going to work against Penn State. He gets tackled there trying to make something out of nothing, and that would set up Daryl Clark as he drops back to pass and finds Deion Butler for a 6-yard touchdown on the slant. Penn State starting to get the game in hand, up 27-7. Now in the fourth quarter, Derek Williams on the end around. You'd think IU would have learned their lesson after allowing this against Wisconsin in their last game, but Derek Williams takes it 36 yards for a touchdown, does some sort of weird version of the Lambeau Leap. I'm not quite sure what that was. Regardless, Penn State wins 34-7. For Penn State, Evan Royster was the leading rusher with 63 yards, just edging out his teammate Derek Williams by 2. Daryl Clark attempted to advance the ball through the air 36 times, connecting on 20 of them for 242 yards and 2 touchdowns. As for the Hoosiers, they were who we thought they were. Not good. Kellen Lewis, seeing his first extended action in several weeks, threw for a sparkling 57 yards, completing little more than a third of his passes. Marcus Thigpen contributed 72 yards on the ground and had the team's lone score on the day. The Chain Gang could have taken out lawn chairs when Indiana had the ball, as the Hoosiers only had 6 first downs compared to Penn State's 23.
The IU men's basketball team has officially started their regular season with the first home game over the weekend. The Demons of Northwestern State came to Bloomington on Saturday, all the way from Louisiana. With the Hoosiers 2-0 in their exhibition games, they hope to answer a few of the many questions surrounding the team. Coach Crean's first regular season game in Assembly Hall, and he's looking a little bit nervous. In the first half, the Hoosiers are trailing by 3 from the top of the key. Northwestern State drills the 3 to go up 8-2 over the Hoosiers. Demons once again for the quick layup, taking control of this game early with the lead 12-5. But the Hoosiers don't give up here. Devin Dumas with the 3 for the Hoosiers. Hoosiers still trailing by 4. The Hoosiers get the ball back, and with a hand in the face, Dumas still drills the 3 for the Hoosiers to get the game within 1. IU with the ball again, the dish to Moore, who gets it into the hands of Matt Roth, who drains the 3 The Hoosiers still trail by 3. IU plowing people over at the same time. Malik Story slams at home. Hoosiers now lead 21-18. Dumas with the quick pass to Pritchard, and the big man slams at home again for the Hoosiers. They lead 32-27. Into the first half, Moore drives in with the awesome shot and one. The Hoosiers go into the half leading over Northwestern State Demons. Heading into the second half, IU gets things started quickly. Devin Dumas with the 3 again for the Hoosiers, putting them up 43-29. Dumas had 21 points for the night, and Moore with the 3, but he misses, only to be rebounded and put back up by the Hoosiers. And IU wins 83-65. Coach Crean 1-0 as head coach.
Tom Crean became the 8th straight Indiana head coach to win his first career game as the Hoosiers knocked off the Northwestern State Demons by a score of 83-65.
We're not going to get shut out for the season, so I told the coaches that. That's good. The players, as I said to them, they'll never forget their first win as part of the Indiana basketball family inside of Assembly Hall.
Working hard all preseason, and for us to come out here and finally get a win that counts, I thought it felt good for the team as a whole.
I'm just glad we got the first one on our belt.
Devin Dumas led the way for the Hoosiers with 21 points, while Verdell Jones added 18. This was coming off a 72-point performance in their exhibition finale against Bemidji State, which included only 10 assists on 25 field goals. Tonight, however, the Hoosiers had 17 out of their 25 field goals come via the pass.
Yeah, I thought we moved the ball much better. I mean, we have to be a ball reversal team. We can't be a first side shot team.
That's what we came in, and that's how our offense is really based, is to get the next man the better shot. And, I mean, that's the focus that we had on coming into this game.
Now, obviously, the Hoosiers will be short in many respects throughout the season, namely size and experience. However, it can be assured that night to night, they will always have the advantage in the effort department.
And a lot of times you don't see the big-time programs play as hard as they played tonight. I mean, they competed every play, and I think that's a credit to the staff Coach Crean has assembled here.
And the effort really kept us there and kept us moving forward. But we've got to continue to build our physicality. We've got to continue to make our presence felt.
We have great players who can come in and do the same thing when we get tired. So just giving our body and giving all our energy is what we try to do.
When all was said and done, every single Hoosier on the active roster entered the contest, a liberty few thought would be possible this early on in the season. Reporting from Assembly Hall, I'm Casey Richards, Hoosier Sports Night.
The Demons were led by Damon Jones, who put up 17 on Indiana. C.J. Clark had only 2 points, but pulled down 8 boards, a team high. As for the Hoosiers, 3 of them scored in double digits, topped by Devin Dumas, game-high 21 points. The quiet giant Tom Pritchard recorded the first double-double of his career, snatching 10 rebounds and adding 13 points to IU's total. Not to be lost in the shuffle was Verdell Jones, who had himself a well-rounded game with 18 points, 5 assists, 3 blocks, and 3 steals. On the other side, Indiana will have to clean up the 23 turnovers they committed. For more on their sloppy play, here's Josh Greenberg.
After IU's victory over Northwestern State, it was no secret what the team needed to work on.
Obviously, we have to get a lot better in the rebounding department and taking care of the basketball, especially when you have so many new players. They're used to just going up and getting the ball. You know, they're used to being able to out-jump their opponent and things like that from high school or even maybe in junior college a little bit, and that's not the case in Division I. Anyway, they want to get better, and it's just a matter of going through it now and understanding that what used to work for you doesn't work anymore at this level, and that's where the physicality comes in. And again, we have to have that effort every night.
As the season is now underway, the young Hoosiers know they're going to have to clean up their game in a hurry.
I mean, I don't think we have any time to grow up. I mean, Coach Crean, the things that he's doing with us in practice, I mean, he's helping us to grow up right there without even playing any games. And this first game was really good for us to help us realize what it's like in a college situation. But our next games are going to get tougher, and we're just going to have to play hard.
One thing's for certain, the Hoosiers won't be able to count on their opponents committing 30 turnovers a game. At Assembly Hall, I'm Josh Greenberg, Hoosier Sports Night.
Thanks, Josh. The men's basketball team hit the hardwood looking for their second win against IUPUI. We have full coverage and more coming up.
Freitag's boys were gangbusters at the Big Ten tournament in Wisconsin, but one border rival ripped away their glory. Find out how it all shook out after the break.